Good morning, it's Sunday morning at Scarborough. It's not raining, it's a little bit fresh, but never mind. And we're out in less than an hour. The twin's just warming up behind me. Everything else is ready to go. I've put a new tyre in my 750 because I need to beat Chad. In fact, talking to Chad, he's just fiddling around changing gearing on his little RVF 400. Everything else is pretty much set. Let's go racing. Do you know what any of those tools are called?
Yes, so these are Dave keys. This is a monkey wrench. And this is just, you just put it in your back pocket like that, and then people think you know what you're doing.
Do you know what you're doing?
No.
I like the way he says he's changed the gearing, but his hands are immaculately clean.
Like a surgeon. Like a surgeon. You
They-
don't see Formula 1 mechanics with dirty hands, do you? Eh? Think about that.
Because they wear gloves.
I'm going to pretend I know where these go.
Right, I've just finished warm up on the Superbike, so only 3 laps. Last night I made a real big change. I took 10 mil of ride out the back end of the bike, which is quite a significant change. And the bike still stays okay, it just needs a little bit more of a turn. But it's a lot more stable on the brakes. I can brake a lot harder and the back's just sitting down a lot more. And it's actually a little bit better out the corners because we were a bit heavy on the anti-squat before, and so that was just sort of lifting the whole bike out of the corners. So in and out of the hairpins it's better. It's a little bit more like muscle required the rest of the lap, but I think it could do a faster lap time. But now, because I've got so much more weight on the back, the forks are actually a little bit too hard, so I can actually soften them off a little bit. So yeah, detail adjustments to be made. Eric's about to go out for support race A, B, whatever it is. He's about to go out for that, and yeah, so there is racing to be done now. Right, Eric's currently out in his support race. He's picked up a couple of positions from his grid slot. He's in the pack, he's having a real good fight. It looks like a really good fun race. Eric's one of those lads, he'll go out, he'll just sort of get in his happy place riding his bike, and he'll just plug lap after lap. He'll get faster and faster. The hairpinny bits of the circuit might not suit him, but the quick bits out of the back, he'll be really, really happy. It's just, yeah, it's really good to have the team here and to get Eric riding again, because he's not ridden that much recently. He's enjoyed his 600. He loves his little Aprilia that he's riding around on. Yeah, he's having an absolutely cracking time. So we're just here enjoying watching some brilliant racing.
Second race, this is Martin in the 600. Race about to go out. We'll see how he starts. Not the best start in the world there, Martin.
Got fucking mullered at the first corner, back to fucking last, was it? Yeah, shit.
56.8.
Oh, shit.
I'm fucking joking. 53.4.
I'll have that.
Well done, bud.
I'll have
Well
that.
done, boy, well done.
I'll have that.
You nearly caught that group in front.
Yeah, I know.
Right, we're just about to go for the restart on the Twin. The first race got a bit exciting. First lap, somebody got a little excitable, slipped off going into the top hairpin and then took out Michael Rees. Didn't look too bad of accident sort of thing, but there was a bit too much to clear up, so they stopped us, called lunch, and now it's time to go again. So I've had a sit down and a banana and nearly fell asleep. So, sup some sugary drink and I'm ready to go.
Right, we just got up to the holding area. You can actually see the orange tent down there. That's where we've just come from. Come up to the holding area. It's almost like a little mini grid. You just see the numbers there on the floor. So we get dragged up to here, make sure everyone's in, and then we get to do the putting it back on stands and sticking them on warmers. As soon as the light goes out down the bottom there, we'll be allowed to go. And then they jib out onto the track, line up in their grid positions, and off we go. Frog yoga once again. Hey. Here's the lesser spotted Dave doing some work. Who would have thought?
I think Super Twins have become the new chaos class. So we'd had the first red flag incident earlier, which is why we ended up running after lunch. Then we got a couple of laps and got red flagged again because there was somebody off at Memorial Out. Rob Hodson was off at the Drury's hairpin at the top of the hill, and then somebody buried it one in the scenery in that rector cells that the S is in, so they red flagged it. So it was 1 wee start, 3 laps. I had an excellent start. I may have employed Irish rules for my grid position, but we'll see how that pans out. But yeah, decent start, got a good little rhythm going. Thought I basically did the same lap time as last year, but the bike's better, but my last lap was scruffy. I was a bit late on the brakes in a couple of places, and I was going into the top hairpin thinking, this slipper clutch is awesome, it's like I'm coasting in. And then by the time I got to the apex, realised I was in neutral. That bike is impossible to find neutral in when you want it, and then I was just coasting around, so I just had to hook it. So realistically, I was probably half 3/4 of a second slower on that lap than I should have been. And no, it was alright, it's good fun. I enjoyed that really. Bit of chaos. So we're back trackside because Eric is currently out for his twin race, and halfway through the race it's sprinkled with rain. To the extent of, even with Super Twins, we can hear a few of them coming over the start-finish line wheel spinning, and a few riders have pulled in. I'd imagine Eric right now is in his element because he won't care that it's raining. He will just ride around all day long. So yeah, he'd look a little bit more committed than some of the people around him. Good old Eric.
Yeah, a better start. Managed to keep the front wheel on, both my feet on the foot pegs this time. Got a few into the first hairpin, lost a bit of ground on the way up the hill and was gaining them back, and then obviously it started to rain up on the top section, so one lap round it was only in 2 or 3 corners. The next lap it was in the rests. One boy, Mike Russell, came past. He's quite handy in the wet, and then it started sort of reeling 1 or 2 boys in, so managed to get one guy on the last lap there, and just right on the back of another 2, so I was happy enough to ride round. Obviously brake a bit earlier, not lean as much on the standard 3-year-old Dunlops from the TT18 600 tyres.
Martin has managed to squeeze on the grid as one of the reserves for the Bob Smith Spring Cup feature race, so that's cool. He's out in the biggest race of the day, so we're just waiting for the bikes to form up on the grid after their warm-up lap. Go Martin! Go Martin! It's getting quite tense here. Waiting for the lights. I can hear the bikes in the distance as they come around at the end of the first lap. We've got to make sure we've got the camera absolutely on point. It's looking good so far. Be exciting to see who's leading the race. It's going to be fairly tight. We'll see how Martin's getting on, what position he's getting up to. Excellent stuff. Right. Go Martin.
Have you been sweating? No, not trying hard enough.
Yeah, the big bikes and 4 round here, it's blooming good fun. Yeah, not a bad start, not the greatest. Little bit box first corner, and then it took me a couple of laps to get past Andy Saylor and Brad Vickers. My bike's loads quicker than Brad's, but he's good on the brakes and he knows you're there, and just was blocking a bit, so I just in the end I drafted round the outside of him, sort of boxed him a bit. So yeah, he might not be that pleased. It wasn't the cleanest of moves, but he'll be alright. Rah! Haribo! Get in my tummy! Rah! Martin's ready to go. This is the last run of the 600s for the meeting. He's looking fairly eager. It is actually dragging on a little bit today. We've been standing around a bit because there's been a couple of stoppages. But hopefully they'll be on the grid any second. Then we can have a bit more racing. So the bikes have lined up on the grid, but there's a little bit of a conflab because I think Lee Johnston's actually fallen off on the warm-up lap somewhere out the back of the circuit. So they're currently sorting that out. And then we might actually get a race start, so just discussing if they're getting one more warm-up lap. Kind of guessing they will. It's all high-tech here. Hand signals are best. We'll ignore the fact he's got a radio in his ear, we'll just go off hand signals. So it turns out David Todd had the kill switch pressed in. Took one of his mechanics to come and try and bump him to work that one out. Right, let's try that again. See if we've actually got a full grid of bikes after the warm-up lap. Enjoy that, Martin.
Yeah, it's good. Bad start again, got boxed out, and then just started picking away through a few people to try to get a couple of laps under. But it's only 5-lap race. You get fucked at the start, and that's it, done, innit?
So what happened to Lee Johnston?
Don't know, but he was obviously first 2-3 bikes on the out lap. Halfway down the back straight, yellow flags come out, and everyone's just going left, right, and centre, left, right, trying to get out of his way. Davey Todd almost collected him full pelt. And then I think all I saw was him drop the bike and jump off it. All good fun.
Right, well, that was the strangest 2 races I think I've ever done. Because they were running short on time, because it's been a bit of a calamity today, everything was cut short. Then they tried to run 2 twin races in at the same time, which didn't work because there were too many riders for the grid. So I went out, had my 3 laps. Then I was in, Eric was on his 3 laps for his twin race. Then it was straight back out on the Superbike. It was like the warm-up lap was like everybody was asleep. It was the slowest warm-up lap I've done. And then off the start, it just went mental, and it was elbows, and in the first corner, I went round the outside of a few people, and it looked like it was going to work until Kernahan, I don't know whether he was in neutral or something, just basically stopped. And everybody concertinaed up, and it was elbows, and then you're on the throttle, and the thing's just wheeling out the corner, and it was chaos. Yeah, and then I had a couple of laps chasing Eddie Harrison, which is standard for Scarborough. Yeah, it's been a bit chaos today. Still bloody love it though. That's the racing done for another weekend of Oliver's Mount. We've had good fun, it has been a bit chaotic at times, but these bunch of reprobates have done really well. I think it's mostly thumbs up. Everybody happy?
Thank you for watching, and join us again next time for more motorbike fun.